In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up your Windows Live Mail. If you use Outlook, then you need to look at the Outlook tutorial, as they are very similar but not quite the same. So if you log into your Windows Live Mail, you'll see that you've got the general sort of inbox. This may differ slightly depending on what your settings are. To set the email up with your new system, what you need to do is click on the Tools button and then scroll down to Accounts and click on Accounts. You'll see that you may have some default ones set up for you. Okay, so to create the new email account, click on the Add button. You then want to click on Email to make sure it's highlighted and then say Next. Your display name will be the one when you send to your users. So if you want to send an email out from your mailbox such as sales at, for instance, stuartdesign.co.uk, then what you do here is actually type sales. This can be absolutely anything you want. If you wanted it to be your name, say for instance our test account is Jamie Johnson, that's what will show up in people's inboxes as who it's received from. So let's just change this to test account, and then once you've put that in, click on Next. For the email address, this has to be the email address that you are actually sending from. So if you have the email address of Jamie at your stuartdesign.co.uk, then you would actually have to put that in here. So for instance, Jamie's going to be sending his out, so it will be Jamie at stuart-design.co.uk. If you don't put this correctly, then emails won't be sent because it verifies that it's sending from the right email address. So you just need to make sure that if you're setting up multiple email address accounts on here, then what you need to do is make sure that the email address corresponds to the actual email address you're connecting to. So once you've put that in, if you click on Next, and the incoming mail server, which is also known as POP3, and the outgoing mail server, which is also known as SMTP. Now, if you're using different programs for your emails, say on a mobile device, the general way of doing this is mail dot, and then it's your domain name. So let's say, I'll just pull up a text document here to demonstrate what I mean. So for Stuart Design, we will type mail dot and then our domain name. So it's stuart-design.co.uk. Let's say, for instance, your domain name is perfectbusiness.com. The mail server will be mail.perfectbusiness.com. So whatever your domain name, that your primary domain name you're using, you need to make sure you put it as a second part, and before that the mail dot. If you don't put the mail dot and just your domain name, then it won't work. So that you have your own dedicated mail server. So I'll just go back to here. So we'll type in stuart-design.co.uk. Okay, so that's for the incoming. For the outgoing server, it's exactly the same. So all you do is copy that into there. So you don't need to worry about any other settings. Paste that into there, and then they're your mail servers. Oh, by the way, you need to make sure this is POP3 up the top. What you also have to make sure you do is click on the outgoing server requires authentication. If you don't click on this, then your emails won't be sent either. So just tick that, and once you've done that, click Next. So your email username is your actual email address. So this will be Jamie at stuart-design.co.uk, and then obviously the password. Recommend that we generally sort of tick remember password unless other people have access to your email. Every time it does a send and receive to try and check for new emails, if you don't click on remember password, then it will keep asking you for the password. So we'll leave that tick for the moment, and once that's complete, click on Next. And then if you don't want to receive emails at the moment, then just click on this to do not download my email at this time. So I'm not going to do that for the moment, but obviously if you wanted to, then leave this unticked. Once you've done that, click Finish. and then you'll see you have the mail.stuartdesign.co.uk as your primary account, and as you can see, it's automatically will go to default unless you have others set up, and it will also tell you the email address underneath. So once you've done that, click on close, and then the other option to have on the account is when you set this up, if you go into properties, and you'll have a whole load more properties. So you can rename the account. This is purely just for your reference in this box here. So it will automatically put this in. I'd recommend filling this in. So actually what we'll do is we'll change that to the name of the person's email. The organisation is your company. Reply address is generally the same, so we'll just copy and paste that. Okay, so that one's been completed. Now click on the tab up the top that says servers, and this will have just the same information that you've put in. So you want to make sure outgoing mail server is ticked. If you click on settings, you can actually log on using different details, but to be honest, I'd just leave that the same, otherwise it will cause problems. Connection, this will be done automatically. Security, you don't need to worry about. Advanced is the next one you might want to look at. If you use webmail as well as Windows Live Mail, what you might want to do is, say, leave a few days worth of emails on your webmail. This means that obviously if you're out and about and you want to see your emails, you can. When you log on to Windows Live and you put these details in without coming into these settings, when you do a send and receive in Windows Live Mail, it will automatically delete the messages off the server, and there will only be a copy on your computer. What we suggest is ticking underneath delivery, clicking leave a copy of messages on server. So you can leave this as a permanent thing, so that you've got emails from the moment you switch over to our new servers, and then up until the day we close the account. If you just want a few days, click on remove from server after, and it will give you an option of days. Some people like to have this just as one day, but you can have this pretty much as many days as you like. If you want to keep a month's worth, all you put in is 31 days. If you delete emails off Windows Live and you know that they're spam or you don't want them anymore, and then you obviously put them in deleted items and then empty that, if you want them to be deleted off the server as well, just click on that. So that's pretty much all the settings you need to look at. Once you've done those, click OK and click close, and then all you need to do is click on send and receive, and straight away we've got the test email come through that's on the server, and there you have that.